day, Essie? It is such a hot day.
Well, I got all those new orders. Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders.
Well, that is wonderful. If this keeps up, you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night, but I said no. I want to be a dancer.
But it takes so long to be a dancer. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Oh, but you can't count the first 2 years. I was learning to type.
I think the candy's hard enough now, Miss Essie.
Thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try it. Finish the second act, Miss Whitmore?
Oh, no, Reba. I just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at a Kit Kat, wasn't she?
She gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Well, do they let her in?
Oh, I made it Visitors' Day, so of course everybody can come. So she arrives on Visitors' Day, and she just stays.
You mean she stays all night?
She stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she bust that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePinna, Mr. DePinna, would you bring up one of the new skyrockets, please? I want to show Mrs. Sycamore.
Sure.
Look, Penny, what do you think of these little firecrackers we just made? We'll sell 10%.
Oh, that's wonderful. Paul, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the new skyrockets. Gold stars and blue stars and bombs. And then a balloon. Mr. DePinna for the balloon.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Oh, you do all of this today?
Yeah. Look, Penny, it costs us 18 cents to make, and we sell it for 50.
Oh,
How many do you figure we can make before the 4th of July, Mr. DePinna?
Oh, let's see now. We got 2 weeks left. What day are you going to take this stuff up to Montgomery?
About a week. You know, we're going to need a bigger booth this year. Got a lot of stuff made up. Come on, we're not through yet.
Look, Mr. Sycamore, I'm afraid the powder chamber is a little too closer to the balloon now.
Oh, well, we got the stars and the bombs in between.
But that don't give a balloon enough time. A balloon, she needs plenty of time.
Well, come on, let's go down into the cellar and
All
try
right.
it.
Mr. DePinna, if a girl you love entered the monastery, what would you do?
I don't know, Mrs. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Alice, we home to dinner tonight, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I set a place for her, but she only been home one night this week.
Yes, I know.
Miss Essie making some mighty good candy today. She's doing something new with cocoa nuts.
That's nice.
Let's see. 6 and Mr. DePinna, and if it's a cotton popcorn, they'll make 8, don't it? Yeah, I better set for 8.
I think I'm going to go back to the war play, Reba.
Oh, I always like that one. The war play.
I'm gonna try one. I want to know what you think.
They look lovely. What are you calling them?
I know love dreams.
Ooh, these are delicious. I think I'm going to go back to the war play. What do you think?
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, I've kind of gotten myself into a monastery, and I can't get out.
Oh. Well, it'll come to you, Mother. Remember how you got out of that brothel?
Oh.
The snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, have you fed the snakes today?
No, ma'am. Donald's coming, and he always brings flies with him.
Well, be sure to feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is about the snakes.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you take Roscoe into the kitchen for me, please?
Mr. DePinna was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
What a lovely mother take.
No thanks. Gotta wash up.
I'm going back to the war play, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. We're gonna put some red stars after the balloon and before the bombs. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Cornwall says I'm his most promising pupil.
But you would think with 40 monks and 1 girl, something would happen.
Essie. Hi, Essie.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Oh, I like writing, Ned? Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Oh, lovely. Got a lot of you in it. I made those new candles this afternoon, Ned.
Yeah?
You can take them around tonight.
All right. Now listen to this. This is all me. How about that?
That's nice. Remember it when phone call comes, will you?
Yes, dear.
Ed, dear, why don't you and Effie have a baby? I was thinking about it just the other day.
Well, I don't know. I suppose we could have one if you want us to. How about it, girl? Would you like to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Well, just ask him, okay?
Labor play, religious play, sex play, and no one's here somewhere.
Ah! I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the house.
Anything you want printed, Mr. DePena? How about some more calling cards?
Oh, no, grazie. I still have the first 1,000 you made me.
Well, call on somebody, will ya?
All righty.
Say, Reba, what are we having for dinner tonight? I'm just about to print the menu.
Let's see. Cornflakes, watermelon, some of those candies Miss Edson made, and some kind of meat.
I think I'll set it up in bold-faced Cheltenham tonight. You know, if I'm going to take those changes around, I'd better print some descriptive matter after dinner.
Ed, do you think anybody reads those things you put in the candy boxes? Oh, here it is, my foreplay, poison gas. Oh, that must be Donald. Look at Reba's smile.
Boyfriend, eh, Reba?
Oh, Donald and Reba are so cute. They're kind of like Porgy and Bess.
Hello, Reba.
Donald.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald.
Hi, Donald. How have you been?
I'm good, Mr. Ed. How you been, Miss
Oh,
Sycamore?
I'm fine, but Donald,
Yes.
were you ever in a monastery?
No, I don't go no place much. I'm on leave. In the flies, you're gonna call a good mess up today.
You sure did.
I see you've been working, Miss Sycamore.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And how's Grandpa?
Oh, he's fine. He's at Columbia right now, commencement exercises.
My ears.
Yeah.
You roll around.
E-A-T. Say, Penny, where's he been? What's he go there for all the time anyway?
I don't know, but it's very handy, right around the corner, very close by.
Oh, Donald! Mr. DePena and I are taking our fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. Do you think you can give us a hand?
Yes. Only I can't take any money for it, though, because if the government finds out I'm working, woo, they're gonna be sore.
Oh. And I had the most wonderful news under the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. This is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
You know, the Trotsky, the Russian Revolution. Anyhow, it struck me that it would be a great fireworks idea. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
Palisades Park. We met there.
Well, I'm going to do the revolution, a full hour's display.
Hey.
That's wonderful.
How about the red fires, the flag, eh?
Sure, and the Tsar and the Cossack.
And the freeing of slaves?
Oh no, Donald, the Russian Revolution. Hello, Grandpa.
Well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
How was the commencement? Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Wonderful. Gets better every year.
Big crowd this
You
year?
don't know how lucky you are, your snakes.
How many of there were there, eh, Grandpa?
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. Much funnier speeches than they had last year.
Listen, you want to listen to a good speech, you need to go up and hear Father Divine.
Oh, I'll wait. They'll have me at Columbia.
Donald, would you please tell Reba that Grandpa's home and we won't wait for Miss Alice?
Yes, ma'am. Reba, Grandpa's on.
We made a new skyrocket today, Grandpa. Wait till you see it.
Evening, Grandpa.
Evening, Mr. DePena.
Didn't we make a fine skyrocket today, Mr. DePena?
We certainly did.
I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencements.
Oh, don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement, or he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. Say just as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever get to say anything?
No, they just sit there in their cap and nightgown, get their diploma, and long about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, "Where am I?"
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't even get kissed.
Excuse me, Grandpa. Mwah.
I'll have a tomato too. You know, I could use a couple of these this afternoon. Play something, yes?
Okay.
Father.
No thanks.
Mother.
Oh, no, thank you, sweetie.
That was a letter came for you, Grandpa. Did you get it?
Letter for me? I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. Had your name on it.
Money? Where is it?
Where's Grandpa's letter, Mother?
Well, I don't know.
No, that letter came from Grandpa last week.
Oh, I saw Groucho sitting on it the other day.
Well, who's it from? Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
United States government.
Really? Wonder what they want.
There was one before that, too, from the same people. There was a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Yes, Grandpa.
I think I'll go up to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state. The state is God.
What's that?
God is the state. The state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
That's all right, I thought you said it.
It makes for wonderful printing. Good and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E.
And so the beautiful princess came into the palace and kissed her grandfather,
Hello, darling.
and her father, and her mother. Hi, Ed.
Hi.
And what do you think, Grandpa? They turned into the Sycamore family. Surprised?
Oh, Alex, I like it.
Do you?
It's new, isn't it?
Nice and summery.
Where'd you get it?
Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
Well, you've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second you dressed this week.
Oh, I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby Company. Well, what's new around here? In the way of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Yeah, I've been down in that cellar all day.
I'm going back to my war play.
Hey,
Oh, really?
say Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
You know, you
Okay.
can mail a letter now from Nicaragua.
Kidding.
Paseos.
My virginity is a priceless thing.
Really?
I cannot
Listen,
know.
listen, I'm not home for dinner. A young gentleman's calling for me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Who is it?
I did everything possible to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Why don't you both stay to dinner?
No, I wanted to take you in easy doses. I've tried to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't leave him in place, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he, President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby and Company, Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
The boss's son, just like in the movie.
That explains the new dresses.
And they're not coming home for dinner for 3 weeks.
Why, Sherlock Holmes.
Are you going to marry him, Alice?
Oh, yes, of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go up and put on my wedding dress.
Is he good looking?
Yes, in a word. Oh, dear, what time is it?
I don't know. Does anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePinna may know.
It was about 5 o'clock a couple of hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Well, listen, will you let me know the minute he comes?
Of course, dear.
Yes, I know, but I mean the minute he comes. Okay, well, be sure.
Well, what do you think of that?
Well, she likes him if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it back.
Ooh, if they get married, we have the wedding right here in this room.
Come now, Penny. This is the first time he's ever called for the girl.
You only called for me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Eddie. He came for dinner once and just stayed.
Well, I don't care. I think it's wonderful. What do you think, Grandpa?
Well, she certainly seems happy about it.
She must be crazy about her. I wonder if he's the one who's been taking her out every night this week. Oh, that must be him. Oh, no, Reba, I'll get it. So remember what Alice said and be very nice to him.
Well, let's get a look at it.
I'm Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore, and this is her grandfather, and her father, Mr. Sycamore, and her sister Essie, and Essie's husband, Ed Carter.
Hi.
Now you know us. Let me have your hat and come right on in. Whew.
I think you're making a mistake.
What do you mean? Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Division.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, sir, that's me.
Mr. Vanderhoff, the government needs talking about looking out of income tax.
Income tax.
That's right. You might have a seat.
Not at all, just go right ahead.
Thank you very much.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, it's an Internal Revenue something. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore! Oh, excuse me.
Yes, what is it?
These are things. They are not going off. Look.
Oh, right here, Mr. DePina. Grandpa's busy.
Oh.
Pardon me.
Ms. Vanderhoff, we sent you several letters, but we haven't had any response.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
According to our records, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Well, why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you're a property owner, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you receive an annual income from this property
I do.
of about $3,500.
About that.
You've been receiving this for years.
I have 1901, if you want the exact date.
Well, the government just worked from 1914 on. That's when the income tax started.
Well,
Well, sir, it would appear you owe 24 years back income tax.
Now, just a minute there. You can't go back that far. That's unlawful.
What is your name, sir?
Well, what difference does it make?
Have you ever filed an income tax return?
No.
What was your income last year?
$28.50.
Please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you got to understand, there's quite a penalty for not filing income tax.
Penalty?
Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Suppose I pay you this money. Now, mind you, I don't say I'm going to. But just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it? Well, you don't understand, see? What do I get from my money? Now, I go to Macy's and I buy something, there it is. I see it. What does the government give me?
Well, the government protects you
What from?
from invasion, from foreigners who come over here and take everything that you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, good. They wanted you to pay an income tax. I mean, what do you think? How do you keep up the Army and the Navy and all those battleships?
Well, we haven't used battleships since the Spanish-American War. And what did we get for that? Cuba. We gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying if it's sensible.
Sensible? What about the Supreme Court and the Congress and the President? We got to pay him, don't we?
Not with my money, no, sir.
Sir, I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is you haven't paid your income taxes and you got to pay them.
Well, they got to show me.
We don't have to show you anything. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington and the Constitution and Interstate Commerce.
Well, the Constitution was paid for long ago. Interstate commerce. What is interstate commerce, anyhow?
There's 48 states, see? And for anything to go from one state to the other, you got to have interstate commerce.
They got fences?
No, they got laws. My God, I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, I might pay $75, but that's all it's worth.
You pay every dollar like everybody else, sir. And what's more, you'll go to jail.
Essie,
If you don't pay your
Essie,
stamp.
listen to this.
You're no better than anybody else. As soon as you get through that head of yours, you're here to be messed up. That's all I'm saying, you, sir.
What's happened to those snakes?
These snakes.
How's that?
Oh, my goodness.
How did that sound to you folks?
I like it.
He was mad, wasn't he?
Well, it's not his fault. It's just that it's all so silly.
Oh, he forgot his hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
It's just right for me.
Say, who wasn't that fella anyway, eh?
Oh, that must be Mr.
You
Kirby.
better make sure this time.
Oh, I will.
I hope he's good looking.
Well, good evening. Yes, it is. Come right in. Come right in. We've been expecting you. This really is Mr. Kirby. I'm Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore, and this is her grandfather, and her father, Mr. Sycamore, and her sister Essie, and Essie's husband, Ed. Hi. Now, won't you come on in, make yourself at home?
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, yes, it is, Alice, and he is lovely.
Well, I hope I'm not keeping you from dinner.
Oh, not at all. Here, have a tomato.
Some candy?
No, thank you. I'm okay.
Oh, okay. I forgot to introduce Mr. DePena. Mr. DePena, this is Mr. Kirby. Mr. Kirby, this is Mr. DePena.
Bonjour, no. Say, wasn't I reading about your father the other day in the newspaper? Wasn't he indicted or something?
Well, hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Oh.
See, there was nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePena. As a matter of fact, Alice has often told us what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know Father can get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than all of us.
Oh.
You're awfully young, aren't you, Mr.
It means I sit behind a desk with my name on it.
Oh, is that all? Don't you get any salary?
A little more than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Now you're just being modest.
Well, it all sounds rather dull to me, Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short and I haven't been there very long.
Oh, just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around a while first. I just sort of had fun.
What did you do, travel?
For a while, and then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England.
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? You ever see any?
Very impressive.
You are, huh?
Anyhow, now that the fun's over and I'm facing the real world,
Well, you've got a good start, vice president and a rich father.
it's hardly my fault now, isn't it?
Well, no, but now you're ready to get settled down, married.
Now, Penny, I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
I'm not making up his mind for him, am I?
Well, that's quite all right, Miss Sycamore.
You see?
You mustn't rush him, Mother.
He's bound to get married, and suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am, vision in blue. Oh, apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
We've been having a lovely talk about love and marriage.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I came down as fast as I could. I was in the kitchen.
Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where you going?
I'm going out, Rita.
Stepping high. Oh, that must be Cooley.
Oh, I think we better go, Tony.
Grandpa, you take cream and your cornflakes, I forget.
Half and half, huh?
That's
That's coffee call, all right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Mr. Cooley.
Tell me, Grandpa, I got a letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is a failure.
I practice today, Mr. Cooley.
My Pavlova,
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Colenthal.
my little Al, never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you. Oh, Tony, this is Mr. Colenthal, Essie's dancing teacher.
Hello, it's very nice to meet you.
How do you do?
If you'll excuse us, Mr. Colenthal, we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Yes, well, goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
See you again.
Monte Carlo Ballet.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Oh, come on, everybody. Dinner's ready.
Well, I thought he was just swell.
Did he have nice manners, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
I certainly did. You were getting pretty personal with him.
Oh, now, Paul. Anyway, he's a very nice young man.
And he looks like a cousin of mine, you know?
Yes.
And if
Yeah,
everything's
you-
here,
yeah,
I
you
want to
went
have a
that
wedding
way.
here, and I want to put the altar where the snakes are, if that's okay.
Oh, I don't mind if the snakes don't.
Oh, no, they want to get married in the church, his family and everything.
Oh,
I like
of
the
course
church
they
wedding.
were.
All right, quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, things have been going along pretty good lately, and we're much obliged. Remember, all we ask is that we go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. Man, so the second 5-year plan was a failure.
Get this rubbish. Why don't you enjoy the third 5-year plan?
Isn't it exciting?
I can play the leg march.
What are we having for dinner?
I can see them dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
Well, they are, I think, but of course, just walking into any theater gives me a thrill.
Oh, well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
Wonderful.
I'll see what's in the icebox. Want to come along?
I would follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh, just the kitchen is enough.
Oh, I like it. You've done it very simply, haven't you?
Yes, but we didn't know whether to do it Empire or Neo-Grecian.
So you settled for Frigidaire.
Yes, please. Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
Maybe these bottle openers aren't for singer midgets, I'll never know. Great, it's all over your table.
I'll take mine in a glass if you don't mind.
You know, Miss Sycamore? A phony bee.
Anyhow, it's cold.
Now, if you'd please be seated, I'd like to offer you a toast.
We are seated.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade 1 minute of this evening for all the rice and China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
You've never read The Good Earth? I was gonna, Alice, it's getting late. I better go.
Is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
I don't want you to.
Then I won't. When do you get your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
I might take mine then too.
Really?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I hadn't thought much about it.
Going away, you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
I do too.
But you always go up to Maine, don't you?
That's right. Of course, I'm sure I'd love the city in the summertime. You know what I mean? I'd love it if you were here, Alice.
Well, it'd be nice if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
You'd rather spend your summer with me than anybody else?
Was I?
That's true about summer. How do you feel about winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
Spring and autumn? You'd see your way through those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
It's pretty much the
Alice?
whole year. I haven't forgotten it.
No.
Is that you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
That's okay, Miss
Mother.
Oh, I just came down to get one of my plays, and then y'all can, well, I'll leave. Oh, let's see. Here it is. Sex takes a holiday. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Miss Sycamore.
Oh, I think you can call me Penny. At least I hope so. Don't you, Alice?
What was that?
Oh, that's all right, Tony. That's just father.
This time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
You know, you're more lovely, more beautiful, more adorable than anybody else in the world.
Don't, Tony.
What, Alice? Just because you're mother? Alice, all mothers are like that, and Penny's a sweetheart. See, I'm even calling her Penny.
No, I don't mean that, Tony. Look, Tony, this is something I should have said to you a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so. No, wait, Tony. I want to make it clear to you. You're of a different world, a whole different kind of people. Oh, I don't mean money or socially, that's too silly. But your family and mine, it just wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
Have it your way. She can't dance. They pay her all that money because she can't dance.
I don't call that dancing, what she does. Oh, hello.
Good evening.
How was the ballet?
It was
It's
fine.
wonderful.
Hi there.
Now look, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Harry?
Yeah, of course. I always thought so, yes.
What does she do anyhow? Now look, you're Fred Astaire and I'm Ginger Rogers.
please.
I just want to use him for a minute. Now listen.
Effie, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree.
You see, Ed?
Yeah, come on, gal. I think we're butting in here.
Oh, well, they've been together all evening. Fine. Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alice.
Good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night. Say, Essie, did you ever talk to Grandpa about us having a baby?
Oh, yes. He said to go right ahead.
You see, Tony, that's what it would be like.
Oh, I didn't mind him. Besides, we're not going to be living with him. It's going to be all right.
No, it isn't, Tony. It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun, and I don't know, there's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, talk is only you can understand. And that's not true. Everybody's got family that's got strange, curious little tricks. One of them, my father raises orchids at $10,000 a ball. Is that sensible? My mother believes in spiritualism. It's just as bad as your mother writing plays now, isn't it?
Because people are that, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
weather? Looks like a nice summer evening.
Yes, it's lovely, Grandpa.
Well, I'm off. Goodbye, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with a policeman down on the corner.
A policeman?
Well, I've known him since he was a boy. We got a standing date. 12:30 evening every evening. He's really a doctor, but when he graduated, he came to me and he said he didn't want to be a doctor. He always wanted to be a policeman. And I told him, you go ahead and be a policeman if that's what you want to be. That's what he did. How you like the new hat?
It's very nice, Mr. Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I like it. Government gave it to me.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you folks were in here.
That's all right, Donald.
Well, Reba fancies some of these candies, and y'all don't want any, do you?
No, Donald.
Okay. You have a nice evening.
Yes, Donald.
Nice dinner.
Yes, Donald.
Was the ballet nice?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain Donald to your father? Could you explain Grandma? You couldn't, Tony, you couldn't. I love you, Tony, but I love them too, and it's no use, Tony, it's no use.
Listen, there's only one thing you said to me that matters. That makes any sense at all. You love me.
But Tony,
But
I
Alice,
know-
don't you think other people have the same problems? Everybody's got a family.
But not like
That
mine.
doesn't stop people from loving each other, Alice. And why don't you trust me? And go on loving me and forget everything.
How can I?
Because they want you to be happy, don't they? They must.
Of course they do, Tony, but they can't change.
You don't have to change. They're charming, lovable people. You're worried about something that may never come up.
Tony, am I?
All that matters right now is we love each other. And that's so, isn't it?
Yes.
Well then.
Tony.
Now, I'd like to see a little gaiety around here. Young gentlemen calling and getting engaged and all.
What do I say?
Well, the first thing you do is you thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
Then you tell him what it was about him that first took your girly charm.
The back of your head.
What?
Uh-huh. It wasn't your charm and it wasn't your money. It was the back of your head. I just liked it.
Well, what happened when I turned around?
Oh, I got used to it after a while.
I'm pretty lucky, aren't I?
I know that I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Pretty lucky myself. I guess I better go.
Good night.
Good night, Alice. Thank goodness we work in the same office, otherwise I'd be hanging around here all day.
Oh, Tony, won't it be funny in the office tomorrow? Seeing each other and going on as though nothing had happened.
Ain't it great, I'm Vice President? That way I can dictate to you all that. Dear Miss Sycamore, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh, darling, you're such a fool.
Hey, meet me in the drugstore tomorrow morning before you go up to the office. I got a million things I want to say to you.
All right.
And then for lunch, and then dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, Tony, what will people say?
It's got to come out sometime. As a matter of fact, if you know any good housetops, I'd like to do a little shower. Good night, Alice.
Good night.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dinner, we did a good night's work.
Let's see, that makes 800 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen of junior kitty bombers, eh?
Pretty good. But, hello, Alice. You just come in.
Oh, no, Father. I've been home quite a while.
You have a nice time.
Oh, Father, I had a beautiful evening.
Say, I want you to take a look at this new green fire. Mr. Dependent, turn out the lights. I want Alice to get the full effect.
What, Father?
Well, take a look at this new green fire. It's beautiful. There. What do you think? Isn't it
Oh,
beautiful?
Father, it's so beautiful. Everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful green fire in the world.
I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Well, y'all just have to wait.
Well, the next time you meet an actress on top of a bus penny, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read.
Ed, I wish you'd stop printing and take those love dreams
Just a
around.
moment, dear.
Got to get back in time to play for me when the Cooley Call comes.
Cooley Call coming tonight?
Yes. Tomorrow night's his night, but I had to change it on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
Yo, it's so exciting. I'm so nervous. You'd think I was the one getting engaged instead of Alice.
What do you think they'll be like, his mother and father? Ed, what are you doing now?
Just a moment. Hey, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Okay, don't tell me. Wait a minute. Helen of Troy.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know, the nice thing about these erector sets, you can make so many different things with them. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
Queen Mary.
Hasn't got the right hat on.
Mr. McKenna, could you go outside and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Oh, why? What the for?
Well, the last couple of days when I've been out delivering candy, I think someone's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me and he stands and watches the house.
Really? I'll take a look and see.
I don't see why anybody would be following you around.
There's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not a bed.
Well, did you see him?
There's nobody out there at all.
You're sure?
Positive. I just watched him walk away.
He might have been anybody walking along the street. Will you hurry up and get back?
Oh, right.
Mr. Sycamore, are you ready to go down now and finish packing up the rest of the bag?
Yeah, we got a lot of things to take up to Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reba for tomorrow night.
Of course, you're here, son.
Thank you. Why? What happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
No, she's not acting. She is really drunk.
Oh, Essie dear, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, aren't you? Because she'll need it.
Of course, Alice. I'm going to start some love dreams right now, so I'll be right ahead.
Thanks, dear. Okay, look, Mother, I'm coming home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Do you think you can have everything down in the cellar by that time? The typewriter and the snakes and the xylophone and the printing press.
And Miss Wellington?
And Miss Wellington. That'll give me time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
Well, the Kirkys are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother?
Oh, yes, of course.
And I think we ought to have cocktails ready by about 7:15 in case they happen to come a little early. I wonder if I ought to let Reba cook the dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Well, as I would be worried. From what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the Kirkys are perfectly nice people. If everything is not so elaborate tomorrow night, then that's all right, too.
Oh, darling. I'm not trying to impress them or pretend that we're anyone we're not. I just want everything to go off well.
Oh, there's no reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We will do everything we can to make the party a success.
Oh, my darling, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. I didn't know anyone could be so happy. Why, this past week has been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Why, just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
Well, just seeing him at lunch and at dinner, and until 3 o'clock in the morning, and 9 o'clock the next morning you're at the office and he's there. Just seeing him, huh?
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba! Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Yes, I remember when I got engaged to Paul how happy I was, and you know, I still feel that way.
I know. Nice the way Ed and Essie are getting along too, isn't it?
And Donald and Reba too, even though they're not married. Do you suppose Mr. DePenna will ever marry anyone?
Well, there's Miss Wellington.
Oh, Bushy, wake up! I want to read the play tonight.
Look at what I found there. Remember?
Oh, it's my painting of you as the discus thrower. Look, Grandpa.
Yes, I remember saying. Getting a little bald there, aren't you, Mr. Dakota?
Oh, is it very noticeable? You know, that little bit left right here, eh?
It was a long time ago, just before I stopped painting. Let me see. Well, that's at least 8
bad you never finished it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Well, I always meant to, but I started writing a play one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
That's just as well, too. I'd have had to strip next.
My goodness, who would have thought that when I came to deliver the ice, that I'd end up staying here for 80 years?
Well, Milkman was here for 5 just ahead of me.
Now, why did he leave anyway? I forget.
Well, he didn't leave, he died.
Oh, I remember the funeral, Grandpa. He was such a nice man, but we didn't know his name, so it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
Say, what was that name we finally made up for him?
Martin Vanderhoff. We gave him your name.
Oh, that's right, I remember.
But it was such a good idea. Otherwise, he never would have gotten all those lovely flowers.
Well, it didn't hurt me any either. Not bothered by mail anymore, and I haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
Oh, it's a lovely idea.
No, Mrs. Sycamore, I wish you finished this sometime. I'd kind of like you to have it, you know?
Do you know what, Mr. DePenna? I'm going to do some work on it right tonight.
I'll say really, yeah?
Yes, because I don't think she's going to wake up. Okay, you go down to the cellar and put on your costume. Oh, is my easel still down there?
I think so.
Good. I'll find my brushes and my palette. Oh, I can't wait.
My little Rebishka.
Hello, Mr. Colin Cole.
Madam Sycamore, I greet you. Tell me, Grandpa, what should I do about Rebishka? I keep telling her she would make a wonderful tall dancer, but she laughs always.
No, sir, I couldn't get up on these toes, Miss Colotop. You know I got corns.
Rebishka, you could wear diamonds. A wonderful girl. What is that?
Oh, that's a picture of Mr. McKenna. Penny painted it.
Stinks.
I know. Say, how do you like that?
What is that?
She's an actress, a friend of Penny's.
She's drunk, no?
She's drunk, yes. So how are you, Colin Cobb?
Magnificent. Life is chasing around inside me like a squirrel.
Yes, huh? Say, how are things in Russia? Did you hear any more from that friend of yours in Moscow?
I just have heard from him. I saved for you this stamp.
Oh, thanks, Colin Cobb.
They have sent him to Siberia.
Hell, huh? How does he like it?
He has escaped. He has escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get them yet, if they do not get him first. The Soviet government. I could take the whole Soviet government and...
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Kolokov. I'll get into my dancing clothes right away.
Tonight we will really work, Pavlova. Tonight we try something new.
Is he making any progress, Colin Cobb?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Not as long as she's having fun.
You sure do tickle Reba, Mr. Colin Cobb.
She is a remarkable woman, Donald.
Yes.
Tell me,
Yes.
what do you think of the Soviet government?
The what?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, I like it fine. I don't really.
Yes?
Oh, yes.
And you liked it?
Yes, I like it. But the only thing is, I got to go down there every week and get it. And you know, sometimes I have to stand in line pretty near a half an hour. The government ought to be run better than that, don't you think, Grandpa?
Well, I think the government ought to stop sending me these letters. There's another one every day. They want me to go down to the U.S. Marshal's office, 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. Look at that.
Oh, income tax! They have got you, Grandpa.
They want me to pay a whole lot of money so as to keep Donald here on relief.
Oh, you don't say. You gonna pay it now?
That's what they want.
You mean to tell me I can get it right here instead of standing in that line?
No, Donald, I'm afraid you're going to have to waste a half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. It breaks up a week.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then he would have stood in line. The bread line! Ah, Grandpa, what have they done to Russia? The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, a cousin of the Tsar, and now she is waitress in Child's restaurant. I ordered baked beans from her only yesterday. It broke my heart. The crazy world, Grandpa.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Golden God. It's the people in it. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
Relax? How can you relax in times like these?
Well, if you just relax, there wouldn't be times like these. Life is wonderful if you let it come to you. Trouble is, people forget that. I know I did. Yeah, I used to be right in the thick of it. Biting, scratching, and clawing, regular jungle. And one day it struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
So you did what?
I just relaxed. 35 years ago that was. Been a happy man ever since.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Kolikoff.
My little Alice, I have not yet seen you to present my congratulations.
Thank you.
May you be very happy and have many children. That is my prayer for you.
Well, that's the thought.
Love. Love is all that is left in the world, Grandpa.
Yes, but there's plenty of that.
And soon Stalin will take that away too, I tell you, Grandpa.
It feels so good to get into my art things again.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You are a breath of Paris, Madame Sycamore.
Thank you, Mr. Kolikoff.
I didn't know you was working for the WPA.
Oh, no, Don. I used to paint all the time.
It happened again. There was a fellow following me everywhere I went.
It's just your imagination, Ed.
No, it wasn't. It happens every time I go to deliver the candies.
Oh, maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is followed. I was followed right out of Russia.
Of course. You see, Ed, just your imagination.
Well, maybe.
Oh,
I'm wearing the one piece of Mississippi. One over here?
right here. Right here. Right there.
But much less to use the first movement of my show.
Right here. Figure in the past 8 years.
No, I don't think my figure's any different.
Oh, it's all Ed.
Sorry, Mr. Kolikoff, I couldn't find my slippers.
We have a hot night with my Pavlova, but art is only achieved through perspiration.
That is wonderful, Mr. Kolikoff. Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes, but it helps if you have a little talent to go along with it. I didn't hit 2 bullseyes last night. I got to do better than that.
You are ready? We begin. Now, go away. Go away. You should be able to do this. It's been 8 years now. At last! Okay, now, entration. A little freer with the hands. The whole body must be free. And help us with the music. The music must be free too. Beautiful, my Pavlova, to me. Oh.
Mr. Clark!
How do you do?
What do you do?
I hope we're not too early. No, it's quite all right. Just come right in.
Oh, but we thought it was supposed to be tomorrow night.
What?
Tomorrow night?
No, it's just fine. Just make yourselves at home.
How could you possibly do this?
I don't know, Dad.
Very embarrassing, Tony.
Oh, not at all. Well, we weren't doing a thing.
No, just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. Now, don't let it bother you. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael.
Hi.
Mr. Kolikoff.
Ahem.
Oh, and Mr. DePilla.
Buongiorno.
And never mind the costume. I take it right off.
No.
Mr. DePilla, would you ask Mr. Sycamore to come right up? Tell him Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
And tell him to put on his pants.
That's it, the rest
Making you perfectly sure that it's all right. Whoa!
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless. Ted, take them into the kitchen.
Okay.
Alice!
very upset about this, Tony, very.
I'm sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight. I don't know what
It
else
was
to say.
incredibly careless, incredibly careless.
Well, anybody could get mixed up, Mr. Kirby.
Hey, how about some dinner for these folks? You know they came for dinner.
No, please don't bother. We're really not very hungry at all.
Oh, it's no bother. Hey, dear, sweetie. Run down to the A&P, told Mom to run to the A&P and get half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Well, there's no need to trouble, Mrs. Singwell. Besides, I have a little indigestion anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like canned salmon, Mrs. Kirby?
Oh, I'm very fond of it, yes.
You could have frankfurters if you'd rather.
Either one will do, thank you.
All right, then, hold on to get some beer and some frankfurters and some canned corn and some Campbell's soup and tell him to hurry. You got that? Okay. All right, well, the A&P is just at the corner and frankfurters don't take any time to boil.
This is Alice's father.
How do you do?
I hope you can forget my appearance.
It's his busiest time of year, 4th of July, he's always down in the cellar.
Oh!
Sweetheart, I'm the most dim-witted person in the world. I thought it was tonight.
Why, Tony, I thought you, I can't imagine why I wasn't, have you all met each other?
Oh, yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? Oh, I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Oh, sweetheart, don't be ridiculous. You look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't worry, my dear. We've all just met each other a night sooner, that's all.
Of course, but I was planning such a nice party for tomorrow night.
Well, then we'll come again tomorrow night.
Well, there you go, Alice. Am I forgiven?
Well, I guess so, Tony. It's just that we better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all been seen too? I've handled that.
But
Yes.
Mother, what did you send out for? Because Mr. Kirby's suffering from indigestion.
Hold on. I asked him what he wanted.
But Mother, yes, but he's not going to say if you can have this.
There's no need to make a big fuss just because I have a little indigestion.
Perhaps it is not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby. Perhaps it is stomach ulcers.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Kolokov.
Pay no attention to Mr. Kolokov, Mr. Kirby. He's Russian, and they have a tendency to look on the dark side.
All right, I am a Russian, but a friend of mine, a Russian, died of stomach ulcers.
Please, Mr. Colin. Mr. Kirby has a little indigestion, and that's all.
All right, let him wait.
Do sit down, Mr. Kirby. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Kirby, how do you find the business situation? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
Well, yes, I suppose so. Of course, okay.
But do you figure we're going to continue to improve?
What's the matter with you? Introduce yourself.
Awfully strange. I assure you she can't be held responsible for her actions. She's a friend of Mrs. Sycamore's. She came to dinner and was overcome by the heat.
The heat? Yes, the heat. Some people feel it worse than others. I better check on her.
Yes, it is awfully hot. We usually escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby, up in Maine?
Oh, yes, as a rule. However, this week I had to come down for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon, it's the high point of her year.
I'm ribbon in a flower show. What's for raising onions? Remember Alice?
That was a garden show, Essie.
I think she's going to be all right. Is Donald back yet?
No, he isn't.
Oh, I'm sure he won't be any time now, and dinner will be soon. I know he must be stored.
Oh, no trouble, no trouble. Hello, what's this? I didn't realize there were small children in the house.
Oh, no, that's mine.
Oh, well, I suppose every man has his hobby, or use it as a model of some kind.
No, I just play with it.
I see.
You'd be better off with a hobby like that, Dad, instead of raising orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, do tell us all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Do you know they take 6 years before they blossom? Think of that.
Some of them take longer than that. You know, I had one that I was waiting 10 years for.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Yes. You know, during that time, they require the most scrupulous care. We've got a certain...
Donald!
Donald, did you get everything?
Yes, ma'am. Only they didn't have any frankfurters, so I got pickles big feet.
Never mind, Donald. Bring everything to the kitchen. Oh,
expensive.
That is very true.
You know, I need something like that. After a week in Wall Street, I go crazy without it. A lot of men I know have yachts just for that reason.
Why don't they just give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was just joking.
I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, it's much more to me than just a hobby, but my great solace is spiritualism.
Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows spiritualism is fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd really rather not discuss it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Remember, Penny, you have one or two hobbies of your own.
Yes, but not silly ones.
Well, I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
Well, of course. To be ideal, a hobby should exercise the mind as well as the body. The Romans were a great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling. In wrestling, you have to think quick with the mind and act quick with the body.
Well, yes, but that's not very practical for most of us. For instance, I would make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You would be a wonderful wrestler. You are built for it. Look. Oh!
Where are my glasses?
Oh no, here they are, Mr. Kirby. Oh no, Mr. Kirby, they're broken.
I am sorry, Mr. Kirby, but when you wrestle again, you will of course not wear glasses.
I have no intention of wrestling again, Mr. Kolenkoff.
Sit down, Father.
Mr. Kolenkoff, how did you do such a thing? Why didn't somebody stop him?
I think perhaps, if you don't mind, we had better be going.
Mother.
Oh, please, Mrs. Kirby, please don't go. Oh, Mr. Kirby, please. I've made some scrambled eggs for you and some plain salad. Oh, please don't go.
I am sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby. If I had been here, then it would.
It is quite all right, my dear.
Oh, it's all right, Alice. Of course we're staying.
Well, that was exciting for a minute there, wasn't it?
You were talking about your orchids. Mr. Kirby, do you raise many varieties?
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Kirby.
What did I do that was so terrible? I threw him on the floor. Did it kill him?
Please, Mr. Kolenkoff.
I'm sure dinner will be ready any time now. Soon.
Would you like some candy while you're waiting, Mr. Kirby? I've got some freshly made.
I'm afraid my doctor does not allow me to eat candy, thank you.
Oh, but these are nothing, Mr. Kirby. They're just coconut, marshmallow, and fun.
Don't, Essie. Oh, excuse me. What is it, Reba?
Well, it's...
Oh, no. Go make some more quick. Send Donald out for some and tell him to hurry. I'm terribly sorry, but there'll be a little delay. Everything will be ready in just a minute.
Well, I've certainly put you people to a lot of trouble with my stupidity, and I apologize.
Not at all, Tony.
Why don't we play some sort of game while we're waiting?
Sounds great. Mr. Kirby, don't want to play a game.
I have an idea. I know a wonderful trick with a glass of...
Mrs. Kirby, this game is perfectly harmless.
Please, Mother.
I'm afraid I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, any fool can play this game. You'll give them out to
But
everybody.
Mr. Kirby doesn't want to play a game.
Oh, you love this game, Alice. Really. Everybody get pencil, paper.
But what is this game?
Write your name. It's called Forget Me Not. Write your name on the paper. Forget Me Not. I used to play it at school all the time. I'm going to call out 5 words, just any 5 words at all, and you write down the first thing that comes into your head. Is that clear?
I understand.
Well, for instance, if I say grass, you might say green. Yes, you do understand. Or if I say table, you might say chair. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, very good. That's awesome. Okay, Mr. Kirby, you see how simple it is?
Father, it can be fun.
Very well, I shall be happy to play.
your mind. Okay? The first word is potatoes. Potatoes. Okay, and the second word is bathroom.
Mother.
Bathroom. Okay, and the next word is lust.
Mother, this is not exactly
There's
what
nothing wrong with that word.
Yes, Mother, there is something wrong with that word.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a perfectly fair word.
See, Alice?
What was that last word again?
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
This is one game, isn't it? Shh, don't even worry. Okay, the next word is honeymoon. Okay, the next word is sex.
Mother.
Everybody got sex? Okay, now I need some papers. Give your papers. Thank you. Thank you, Colton. Thank you. Oh, Grandpa. Mrs. Kirby, thank you. And Mr. Kirby. Oh, there, I've got all y'all's papers. Okay. And
What comes next?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I'm going to read your answers out loud.
You know, it's really quite an interesting game.
Yes, it is. I knew you'd like it, Mr. Kirby. It's going to show how your mind works. So I'm going to read your paper first. This is Mr. Kirby's paper. Okay. Potatoes, steak. You see how those go together? Steak, potatoes, steak.
I just had to think of it.
Well, it's really very good. Okay, the next one. Bathroom, toothpaste. Yes, wow. Lust, unlawful. Isn't that nice? Honeymoon trip, of course. And the last, sex, male. Well, of course you are. That is a wonderful paper, Mr. Kirby. Yes, it is.
You know, it's really more than just a game. It's sort of an experiment in psychology, isn't it?
Yes, showing how your mind works. And now we're going to see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. Okay. The first word, potatoes, starch. I know exactly what you mean, Mr. Kirby. The next, bathroom, Mr. Kirby. Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
I'm afraid I don't follow that, my dear.
Well, I just thought of you in connection with it, that's all. You are in there a good bit, after all. You're bathing and shaving, and you do take a long time.
Indeed. I hadn't realized I'd been selfish in that matter.
Really, it's a very silly game, and I think we ought to stop it.
Yes.
No. Please, go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Next word is lust. And lust, human emotion. Human.
Really? Miriam.
I just meant that lust is, after all, a human emotion, that's all.
I disagree with you, Miriam. Lust is not human emotion. It is depraved.
Very well. I'm wrong, and
Really, it's the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions.
yes,
No. I'm rather enjoying this game. What was the next word, Mrs. Sycamore?
Honeymoon.
And what was Mrs. Kirby's answer?
Honeymoon, dull.
Did you say dog?
I just meant that Hot Springs was not very gay that season, that's all. You know, all those old people sitting out on the porch all afternoon and got nothing to do at night, you know.
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall.
Father, it's only a game.
A very interesting game, please, Mrs. Sycamore. Go on.
Well, this one's all right. Sex, Wall Street.
What could you possibly mean by that, my dear?
I don't know what I meant. Nothing.
Well, you must have meant something. You wouldn't have written it down.
It was just the first thing that came into my head, that's all.
What could it mean? Sex, Wall Street.
I don't know what it meant, Anthony. It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street. I mean, even when we're with... Alice, dear, would you mind terribly if we didn't stay for dinner? I'm afraid this game has really given me quite a headache.
Yes, perhaps
I
we could
understand.
postpone the dinner to a later time.
But you'll come tomorrow night, won't you?
Oh, no. We have previous engagement.
Yes, perhaps we better postpone the whole thing and, the hot weather.
I think we're being very ungracious. Of course we'll stay for dinner. Tonight.
Tony, I have a very bad headache.
Come on, Tony, I'm sure that everybody here understands.
Well, I don't. I think we should stay.
No, Tony.
What?
Tony, we were fools ever to think it would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Terribly sorry, my dear. Are you ready, Marion?
Yes, I am, Anthony.
It was very, very nice to have met you all.
Lovely, yes.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, I'm not, Father.
I see. Well, your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Oh, stay right where you are,
What?
everybody. Don't move.
What is this?
Keep your mouth shut, you. Which one is it?
That's him.
What are you doing? What do you mean?
Grandpa?
What do you mean?
I demand an explanation.
Shut up! What's your name?
Well, Edward Carmichael, I haven't done anything.
Oh, you haven't, huh?
This is all pretty high-handed to me. What's this all about?
Department of Justice.
Oh my goodness, J-Man.
Oh, and what have you done?
I didn't do anything.
What has the boy done, officer?
That door leads to the cellar?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Matt. Jim. Take a look upstairs and see what you can find.
I didn't do anything.
Come here, you. Ever seen these before?
Those are my circulars.
Oh, you print this stuff, huh?
I didn't mean anything. I just...
And you put them in the box of candy to get them in big
The
hums.
love dream?
I didn't mean anything by it. I just...
Oh, you didn't, eh? Dynamite the Capitol.
What?
Dynamite the White House. Dynamite the Supreme Court. God is state. The state is God.
I didn't mean anything by it. I just like to print. Don't I, Gramps?
Officer, the government is in no danger from printing's just his hobby. He'll print anything.
Oh, he does, eh?
I refuse to stand here for authorizing law.
Shut up, you! We were right, Chief. We have enough gunpowder down there to blow up the whole city.
Everybody was held under arrest.
What's that sound?
Who's that?
That's my mother.
For appearance in the West Side Court this morning. After spending a night in jail, the defendants, 13 in all, appeared before Judge Callahan and were given suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
Yeah, had me in the same cell with a stripteaser from the burlesque show.
I was in the cell with Mr. Kirby. Man, was he mad?
Mrs. Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
Whole lot about Mr. Kirby here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby and Company, 62 Wall Street, was among those apprehended, declared he was in no way interested in the manufacture of fireworks, but refused to state why he was on the premises at the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby is a member of the Union Club, the Harvard Club, the Racket Club, and the National Geographic Society. My, he certainly is a joiner.
I don't think they are something.
I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony ain't gonna ever marry Miss Alice, huh?
No, sir. And it's a shame, too. Miss Alice sure knows she loved that boy.
Have you ever noticed how white folks always getting themselves in trouble?
I'm glad. I'm cold.
go away. Where's she going?
I don't know. Now in someplace. But she gone all right, no matter what they say. I don't miss Alice when she get them looking eyes.
It's just too bad.
It sure is.
Not even a balloon left. Look.
How's your hand, Mr. Dependent? Is it better?
See, he's better. Is there any more olive oil out there?
It's in the salad bowl.
Grazie.
She's going, Reba, and nothing anybody said could change her.
She ain't gonna stay away long, is she, Miss Sycamore?
I don't know. She won't stay.
It's sure gonna be lonesome around here.
Well, how do you feel, Miss Sycamore?
I'm okay, Donald. I'm just a little upset. Maybe if I do some work, I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you there, Miss Sycamore.
She's going, Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, now, Penny.
I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't think it's our fault.
Oh, it's mine more than yours, Penny. All these years I've been going along enjoying myself. Maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Don't say that. You've been a wonderful father, a wonderful husband.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone and been an architect, I don't know. Something that Alice could have been proud of. I felt that all last night looking at Mr. Kirby.
We've been so happy.
I know, but maybe that's not enough. I used to think it was, but I'm kind of all mixed up now.
When is she going?
Pretty soon, the train leaves 7:30.
I don't suppose she'll talk to Tony. Maybe he could persuade her.
But she won't, Penny. He's been trying all day.
Where is he now?
I don't know, walking around the block again, I suppose. Anyhow, she won't talk to him.
No, maybe he could catch her before her train leaves.
It won't help, Penny.
Don't suppose so, but I feel sorry for Tony, too. Well, Grandpa?
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
Oh, but Grandpa.
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. It only takes so much Adirondack, and then you come home.
But it's all so terrible.
Well, in a way, but there's a bright side.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting in that patrol wagon, for one. And the look on his face when he had to take a bath with Donald. I won't forget that if I live to be 100. And I'm warning you people, I plan to. Things like that keep going on around here.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was a burlesque dancer in there with us, and she kept singing a strip song the entire time Mrs. Kirby undressed.
Oh, boy, I think the Bar Harbor's going to seem awfully dull to the Kirbys this summer. You need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandpa. I'm just going to go press this.
Alice, dear.
Alice, I'll bring down the big bag as soon as you're ready.
Thank you.
Would you like some candy to take on the train, Alice?
No thanks, Essie.
You could be alone here, just same as in the mountains. You could stay right up in your room all the time.
No, Mother. I want to get away for a while. I need to be by myself. I love you all. You know that, but I just have to go away for a while. I'll be all right. Father, did you phone for that cab?
No, I didn't know you wanted one.
Well, I told Mr. Dependent to tell you. I didn't tell you about the
He
cab.
told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything. that behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick of cornflakes and of Donald and everything. Why can't we be like other people? Roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table and a place you can bring your friends to without.
I'll see if I can do anything.
Oh, Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks.
Oh, come on, Alice!
Tony, it's no use.
Alice, at least give me a second. Alice, you're not being fair.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
Oh, she walked right out the minute he came in.
Knocked the olive oil right out of my hand. I'm gonna smell it kind of fishy.
Is your hand still hurting you?
Oh, no, he's a doctor.
Everything burned up downstairs.
Everything. And my Roman costume, too.
Oh, I told you there was a bright side. All accept my 24 years back income taxes. Another letter every day.
So what are you going to do about that there, Grandpa?
Well, I had an idea yesterday. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I decided to try it anyway.
Ah, what easy there.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Cullen Cox.
Hi.
Oh, give me, the door was
Oh,
open.
come right in.
You will excuse my coming this evening. I realize you are upstairs.
I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Kolikoff. I just don't feel up to it.
It's all right, Mr. Kolenkoff.
Well,
If you would like to stay to dinner, that'd be wonderful. We've got all that food and somebody's got to eat it.
I will be happy to, Madam Sycamore. Thank you.
Good, good.
Now, I wonder if I know you well enough to ask you a great favor.
Of course, Mr. Kolenkoff.
You have heard me talk of my good friend, the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina? She is a remarkable woman. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia, and now she is a waitress in Child's Restaurant, Times Square. Well, I tell you, the Grand Duchess has not had a good meal since before the revolution.
Oh.
She must be hungry.
And tonight is not only her day off, Thursday, but it is also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mr. Kolenkoff, if you mean you'd like the Grand Duchess to come to dinner, we'd be honored.
Oh, yes!
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you. I thank you.
Oh, I can't
Thank
wait to
you.
meet her. Where is she now?
She's waiting in the street outside.
Boy, if things like this keep happening, I'm living to be out of my mind.
Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. Your Highness, permit me to present Madame Sycamore, Madame Carmichael. Grandpa,
Madame.
Master Sycamore, Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael.
Hi.
And Mr. Lipina.
All right, Mr. Lieutenant.
Oh, please, please be seated, Your Highness.
How about you?
You are most kind.
Oh, we're honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am happy to be here. What time is dinner?
Soon. Dinner will be very soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
I will make sure you are on time, Your Highness.
Thank you, Kolikoff.
Say, the Duchess, I think you waited on me once a child at the 72nd Street place.
No, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
I work at Times Square.
Quite a lot of you people over here now, isn't there?
Oh, yes, many. There is my uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei. He is an elevator man at Macy's. And then there is my cousin, Prince Alexis. He does not speak to the rest of us. He works at Hattie Carnegie. He is in ladies' underwear.
When he sold hot dogs on Coney Island, then he would talk to you.
Ah, but Kolikoff, our time is coming. My sister, Natasha, is training to be a manicurist. They have promised to promote Uncle Sergei to floor walker. And next month, I will be working at Child's on 5th Avenue. And from there, it is only steps away to Shrine. And then we will see what Prince Alexis says.
I think you got it.
You are telling me?
Your Highness, did you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Yes, of course. He was my cousin. Oh, it was terrible what happened. But perhaps it was for the best. Well, will he find a job now?
Rather, this is true.
And poor relations are poor relations. It is the same in every family. Why, even my cousin, the King of Sweden, he was very kind to us for about 10 years. He even sent a money order every once in a while. And then he said, I just cannot go on. I am not doing so well myself. I do not blame him.
Of course not, but would you excuse me for just a moment?
Tell me, Grand Duchess, you seem through what they say about Rasputin?
Oh, everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is true, and how?
You don't say.
We must keep an eye on the time, Your Highness.
Oh, yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He is a communist.
I'll try to hurry things up. Essie, would you go in the kitchen and help Reba?
Oh, I will help too. I am a very good cook.
Oh, not on your day off.
Oh, I do not mind. Where's the kitchen?
Well, it's right through here, but you're the guest of honor, Your
Oh,
Highness.
but I love to cook. Come, Cooley. If they have got sour cream and pot cheese, I will make you some Blexen.
Ah, Princess, come over. We show you something.
That the Grand Duchess, she's okay. And Duchess, let me have.
She has a beautiful face for a mask.
She's a wonderful woman, considering she's a Grand Duchess.
Wonderful what people go through, isn't it? And still keep kind of gay.
She made me forget things for a minute.
Better call that cab, I suppose.
Oh, wait a minute, Paul. Maybe Tony. Here she comes.
Ed, will you bring my bag down, please?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
Right, Ed, bring it down. You got the most stubbornest daughter in all 48 states.
That must be the cab.
Well, if it is, it's wonderful service.
Tony here.
Yes, we did, Mr. Kirby. Come in.
How do you do?
Good evening.
How do you do?
Please excuse the intrusion. Tony, I want you to come home with me right now. Your mother is very upset.
All right, Father. So long.
Bye, Tony.
I know that this is as upsetting to you folks as it is to us. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Yes, and in a way, no. Now, I'm not the kind of man who likes to run other people's lives, but the truth is, Mr. Kirby, that I don't think these two young people have quite as much sense as you and I have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
I'm talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can look at a king, can it?
Can I do that for you, Alice?
No, thanks.
Your train won't leave for quite a while, Alice.
Yes, can you send a cab to 761 Claremont, please, right away? Yes, thank you.
Oh, Alice.
Father.
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose that after last night you think this family's kind of crazy.
Not necessarily, but then again, I'm not used to going out to dinner and ending up spending the night in jail.
Well, you've got to remember, you came on the wrong night. Now, tonight, nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhoff, it was not simply the events of last night that led us to believe that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Now, come on, Alice. For the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony, I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
No, he's not, Alice.
Alice, you're in love with this boy, and you're not marrying him because we are the kind of people we are.
Grandpa,
I know you think the families wouldn't get along. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who's to say that they're right and we're wrong?
Grandpa, I didn't say that. I only feel
Well,
that
what I feel is that Tony is too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
What? How's that?
Yes. All mixed up and unhappy the way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff. I am a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. Where do you think your indigestion comes from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because you spend most of your time doing things you don't want to do.
I do not do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. You said that last night that after a week on Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep doing it?
Why do I keep doing it? It's my business. A man has to have his business.
Why? You got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
You know, that's very easy to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building up my business.
And what has it got you? Same kind of mail in the morning? Same kind of deals? Same kind of meetings? Same dinners at night? Same indigestion? Where does the fun come in? Don't you think there ought to be something more, Mr. Kirby? You must have wanted more when you started out. We haven't got too much time, you know, any of us.
So what would you have me do? You do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Plenty of time for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my darts, even have time to notice when spring comes around. I don't see anybody I don't want to see, and I don't spend 6 hours of my day doing things I have to do before I get 1 hour to do what I like, and I haven't taken a bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. Now what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? Well, suppose everyone did it. Everybody going to zoos all the time. Who would do the work?
Well, there's always people that like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, they fly the ocean. Always somebody go down to Wall Street, too, because they like it. But from what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of them. Mr. Kirby, I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
Well, I wasn't either until I quit. Used to go down to that office every morning, 9 o'clock, no matter how I felt. Lay awake at night, worrying whether I was going to get that next contract. Worried about the world, too. Got all worked up over whether Cleveland or Blaine was going to be elected president. That seemed pretty important at the time, but who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years that nobody can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world. See?
I do see, Mr. Vanderhoff. And that's a very dangerous philosophy. It's un-American. And it's another example of why I don't want Tony to go through with this marriage. I don't want him coming under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
What's the matter with it? Why, it's downright communism. That's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
Of course I did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so because there was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, yes, you did. I read those letters you wrote to grandfather. You remember those?
No! How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Isn't that wonderful? Did you wear tights, Mr. Kirby?
Certainly not. The whole thing's absurd. I was 14 years old.
Yes, but at 18 you wanted to be a saxophone player, didn't you?
Well.
And at 21 you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go into business. It's all down there in black and white. You didn't always think so.
I may have had silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot all about it.
Not altogether, Father. You're still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
You really?
We'll discuss this later.
No, I want to talk about it now, tonight. I think Mr. Vanderhoff's right. He's damn right. I'm never going back to that office. I always hated it. And I'll tell you another thing. I didn't make a mistake tonight. I knew it was the wrong night, so I brought you here on purpose.
Tony!
Because I wanted you to wake up. I want you to see a real family as they really are. A family that loved and understood each other. You don't understand me. You never had time. Well, I'm not making a mistake. I'm getting out while there's still time.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into business just because I'm your son. I'm clearing out.
What are you going to do, Tony?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. At least I'll be doing something I want to do.
Well, that must be the cab.
Ask him to wait a minute, Ed.
Okay.
You mind, Alice? Mr. Kirby, Tony's going through the same thing you and I went through when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you'll hear yourself saying the same things to your father 25 years ago. We all did it. And we were all right. How many of us would settle when we're young for what we eventually get? All those plans we made. What happened to them? There's only a precious lucky few that can look back and say they even came close. So before they clean out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in some time on that saxophone.
How many will there be?
Your Highness, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How's that?
Oh, do you know? Before I make the princes, how many will there be for dinner?
I'd make a whole stack of it, Your Highness. You can't ever tell.
Good. The Tsar always said to me, Olga, do not be stingy with the princes.
Who did you say that
She's cooking dinner.
Oh?
Oh, and speaking of dinner, Mr. Everly, why don't you and Tony both stay? Looks like it's going to be a good dinner, and it would give us a chance to get acquainted. What do you say? Why not stay?
Please, Mr. Kirby, we've got all that food we were going to have last night. I mean, tonight.
How about it, Father? You guys stay for dinner?
If you'd care to, Tony. Yes, I'd like to very much.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, if Alice will just send away that cab.
Well, how about it, Alice? It's going to be a good crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
I'm staying, Alice. Don't you think the families ought to get to know each other?
Oh, Mr. Kirby. Oh, Tony. Oh, Tony. Grandpa, you're wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa, here's a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
Now, Miss Sycamore, if you'll step into my office, I got a little dictate.
I'll just go tell that cat.
Well, well, well.
What is it?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe them a nickel since I died 8 years ago. You remember Charlie, the milkman that was buried under my name?
Oh, yes.
Well, I just told the government that they'd made a mistake and I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr. They said they're sorry and I may even get a refund.
Oh, my Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Sure.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhoff. How did you say you escaped the income tax?
Tonight, my friends, we are going to eat.
Hello! How are you? I'm fine, thanks. Good to see you. Really good to see you.
What is happening?
He's relaxing. Here, play something.
Okay.
This will be ready in just a minute. Sit down.
Come on, everybody.
Come on down, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, I'm coming.
Effie, please stop dancing. We're going to dinner.
You will like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
Of course I will.
But you must be careful of your indigestion.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I don't have any indigestion.
Oh, Miss Sycamore, how was your trip to Anne Arundel?
Shut your face, Mr. Kirby.
In Russia, when they sit down to
All right,
dinner,
quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, here we are again. We thank you for everything that you've done for us. Things seem to be going along just fine. Alice is going to marry Tony, and it looks like they're going to be very happy. Of course, all the fireworks blew up, but that's Mr. Dependent's fault, not yours. We all have our health, and as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. Amen? Amen.
I've had another letter from Russia.
Do you like roast goose, Mr. Kirby? We have roast goose for dinner.
Like it? It's my favorite dish.